how do you like really measure popularity, influence in the K-pop world? It moves so incredibly fast.
Right. Is it just album sales? They break records constantly.
Exactly. Or is it just, counting followers on Instagram or Twitter? What if there's something deeper, a metric that kind of pulls all that together and, well, a lot more besides?
We're talking about brand reputation.
That's it. Brand reputation.
Yeah.
It's this really critical way to see an idol's actual impact. So today, we're going to take you on, well, kind of a journey. Diving right into that really fascinating spot where artistry, those incredibly passionate fans, and, big data all meet.
It's definitely way more than just a popularity contest, isn't it? This is really about trying to quantify something intangible. Public feeling, strategic impact.
Yeah.
It gives you this clear window really into how the whole K-pop ecosystem works.
Totally. And our main focus for this deep dive, it's the official July 2025 girl group brand reputation rankings. They just came out.
Fresh off the press from the Korean Business Research Institute. They're highly respected.
Yeah, they are. And this isn't just like some random list you'd flick past online.
Yeah.
Think of it more like a snapshot.
Yeah.
Really carefully put together, super analytical, showing the K-pop landscape right now. Who's really clicking with people?
And the source we're using today.
Right. Good point. Our main source is this really insightful English original analysis from Foreshadow English.
Yeah.
And it's cool because it does two things. Gives us these amazing K-pop insights.
Yeah.
And it's also a great way for people to learn English, through news analysis.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is how these numbers, these kind of abstract numbers, actually connect to what fans are doing in the real world. And the media strategies the companies are using, it's not just looking back. It can kind of show how things come together to shape an idol's image, their influence.
Okay, right. Let's unpack this for you, the listener.
Yeah.
Our mission today, basically, is to give you a shortcut. Help you get really well informed about the power dynamics right now. K-pop girl groups.
Yeah, who's up, who's steady.
Exactly. We're going to uncover some stuff that might surprise you, give you a really clear picture of the method behind it, all the science, really, that makes these rankings.
The how.
The how. And some key insights into what actually drives an idol's brand today, because it's always changing. We want to cut through all the noise, the information overload, and hopefully give you some of those aha moment, help you connect the dots maybe you didn't see before.
Right.
So like I said, it's not just about who's popular, it's about how they measure that popularity and what that really means for the idols, the groups, the whole industry.
Exactly. And understanding this framework, this analytical approach, lets us get beyond just, oh, they're popular.
Right.
We can actually grasp the mechanics, the levers being pulled. It reveals the kind of invisible strings almost that shape public perception.
Okay, so let's get into the details.
Right.
How do they actually crunch these numbers? It sounds pretty involved, this brand reputation index.
Yeah.
What is that exactly? What does it stand for in K-pop?
Okay, so at its heart, the brand reputation index is, well, it's a measure. Sophisticated, data-driven. It looks at an idol's perceived influence and their overall public image. And it goes way beyond just counting followers or album sales. Those are part of it, maybe. But it aggregates and analyzes all sorts of public engagement.
Like what?
Media presence, online discussions. It pulls it all together into one score, a single number that reflects their current standing, the buzz around them, their perceived value, you could say.
And why is this metric so important in K-pop? Maybe more than in other entertainment industries. What makes it so crucial?
That's a really key question. It kind of gets to the heart of the K-pop ecosystem. In this industry, public perception has this direct, immediate, often huge impact on everything.
Everything.
Yeah, an idol's career opportunities, how long they can sustain success, their financial bottom line, a strong brand reputation. That translates directly into things like better endorsement deals.
The CFs.
Exactly, the big brand deals. Coveted acting roles, maybe in dramas or films, getting on the big variety shows, and maybe most importantly, keeping fans engaged, deeply engaged.
Right.
All that stuff comes together to build a longer, more successful career. And on the flip side,
Yeah.
A dip in this index, that can be like an early warning signal for agencies. It means public feeling might be shifting, and they might need to adjust their strategy fast.
Wow. So it's like a real-time stock ticker for an idol's relevance.
In a way, yeah. It measures their market value, their cultural relevance, their potential for growth. It tries to quantify the intangible, which is, absolutely essential in an industry that relies so much on public favor. Trends change so fast.
That makes total sense. Okay, so if it's that important, how do they actually do it? How do they put the numbers together? You said sophisticated.
It is sophisticated, but it's also really precise. They use big data analysis. The Korean Business Research Institute has its own process. For these July 2025 rankings we're looking at, they collected data for a whole month, June 20th to July 20th.
A full month's worth.
Yep. And the scope, it's huge. They analyzed data points related to 725 individual female K-pop idols.
725. Wow. How do they even manage that?
It's not people counting, it's complex algorithms, often using AI, natural language processing,
Okay.
sifting through millions and millions of online posts, news articles, search queries, social media chatter, looking for patterns, sentiment, trends, things a human just couldn't possibly track on that scale.
Okay, 725 idols. That is a mountain of data. So they're digging through all this digital info. What specifically are they looking for? What are these key indexes that make up the final score?
Right, they break it down. There are 4 core parts. Each one captures a different but equally important piece of the puzzle. Public engagement, perception, gives you the whole picture.
Okay, what's the first one?
First is consumer participation. This basically reflects direct fan engagement, proactive engagement.
Meaning?
Think about searches for the idol's name, people actively participating in official fan cafes, the online communities, interactions where fans are deliberately seeking out or talking about the idol's stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's a measure of how actively, how enthusiastically fans are showing interest.
So it's not just like passively scrolling past a picture and hitting it's deeper, like a full 360 view of their public life.
Yeah.
How people are actually seeking them out.
Exactly. It's about that proactive interest, the intent behind the click or the search.
Makes sense, especially in K-pop with the fandoms. Okay, what's the number 2?
Second component is media coverage. This looks at how much, and really importantly, how positively idols are featured in the news. Traditional news, entertainment sites, the broader media.
So like articles, interviews.
Exactly. Features, TV appearances, the whole lot. This index shows how the mainstream media is portraying them, shaping their story for the wider public, beyond just the dedicated fans. It's about their reach into the general population.
Okay, got it. Fan engagement, media attention. What's the third pillar?
Third is communication. This is where social media and all that online chatter really comes in. It analyzes the amount and the nature of interactions, mentions, discussions, across loads of platforms, social media sites, blogs, forums, online communities.
So not just what the idol posts, but what everyone else is saying about them.
Precisely. It looks at the organic buzz, the conversation about the idol, how much they're being talked about, shared, referenced. It shows how widely their stuff is resonating, spreading organically. And the algorithms look for keywords and sentiment within those conversations.
That distinction feels important, the public's active discussion around them, not just their own carefully crafted posts, shows real resonance.
Exactly right. And finally, the fourth component, community awareness. This one's maybe the broadest. It reflects general public recognition, the buzz among people who aren't necessarily hardcore fans.
How well known are they just out there?
Yeah. How recognizable is their name, their face, their general image to the average person, even someone not deep into K-pop. It measures their cultural footprint, their presence in the zeitgeist, their ability to break out of the niche.
Wow. Okay. So consumer participation, media coverage, communication, and community awareness. Put them all together.
And you get this incredibly comprehensive, really holistic view of an idol's influence. It goes so far beyond just followers or sales.
It really does try to quantify that intangible public feeling you mentioned. Sounds like they've really honed the science behind stardom.
It's about measuring influence in this complex, multi-layered digital age, right? Moving past simple counts to capture how fan passion, media strategy, and general recognition all weave together. It shows how sophisticated the analysis has become. Big data isn't just a scoreboard.
It's predictive too.
Yeah, it can be a dynamic, predictive tool. This data doesn't just say who's hot now. It can hint at future trends. Agencies can see shifts, plan their next moves, like a sudden spike in communication scores. That might signal it's a good time for a surprise solo project, or maybe even make them tweak a group comeback schedule to ride the wave of existing buzz.
Fascinating stuff.
Woo.
Okay, now that we kind of get the science behind it all, let's talk about the idols themselves. The July 2025 Girl Group Brand Reputation Rankings are here, and the top 5. Wow, there's a lot going on there. Tell the real story about who holds the power right now. Let's start at the very top. Number 1, the reigning queen this month, who just stormed into that position, BLACKPINK's Rosé.
Yeah, her performance this month it's huge. Phenomenal, really. Rosé took that number 1 spot with a massive index score, 5,886,074 points.
Wow.
But what's even more striking and really shows momentum is the increase from June, a jump of 85.69%.
85% in 1 month.
Exactly. That's not just a small uptick. It signals a really powerful surge, probably driven by specific activities. Something major clearly happened that caught the public's attention.
Okay, and here's where it gets really interesting. The data gives us more than just the number. It flags specific keywords linked to that surge. For Rosé, the big ones were JMP, APT, and Bruno Mars.
Right.
What do those tell us? They seem kind of random at first glance. How does the data connect them to what she's been up to?
They're like little clues, aren't they? Direct pointers to her recent activities. JMP, that could easily be a new song, right? Something high energy. Or maybe a performance that went viral.
Or like a dance challenge. TikTok loves those.
Absolutely. A single move can just explode online. Then APT. That's very specific. It probably points to something related to the song Apartment, or maybe a collaboration that used that title somehow. Plausible. And Bruno Mars, well, that one's pretty clear. It strongly suggests a collaboration, maybe sharing a stage, a joint project with him. That would definitely generate massive global buzz. So you put those keywords together, it paints a picture of recent high-impact stuff.
Yes.
New music, maybe big performances, major collabs, things that clearly resonated and boosted her score.
And the analysis also flagged prove and unique as related terms. That says something about how people see her art, right?
Yes, those add the qualitative layer. Prove suggests maybe she showcased something new, showed off her versatility, reaffirmed her talent in a powerful way, perhaps.
Took a risk, maybe.
Could be. And unique highlights her individuality, standing out in a crowded field. It shows she's not just performing well, she's seen as having her own distinct character and style.
And the overall feeling, the sentiment analysis, overwhelmingly positive, right?
Hugely positive. The data showed 94.80% positive reactions and mentions. That just cements her influence, her broad appeal. It shows she's connecting really well, turning that activity into a genuinely positive reputation.
Okay, amazing performance from Rosé. Now, right behind her, holding steady at number 2, we have IVE's Jang Won Young, a consistent powerhouse. This isn't a sudden jump, more like sustained presence.
Yes, exactly. Her score is also incredibly strong. 5,680,023 points. And you're right, her success isn't about one explosive moment like Rosé's this month. It's built on consistency, strategic influence, constant visibility.
How does she maintain that?
Well, you see her everywhere, right? Consistent media presence, those high-profile fashion endorsements with luxury brands.
Ah, yes, she's a fashion icon.
Definitely. And she has continuous, really effective fan engagement across different platforms. It shows a very deliberate, long-term strategy for building and maintaining her brand. She's mastered sustained relevance.
Okay, number 3, another huge name back in the top tier, BLACKPINK's Jennie. What does her strong showing tell us?
Jennie's index is 5,362,305. Still incredibly robust. It reflects her, undeniable global influence. She keeps that momentum going through relentless activity.
Like what specifically?
Recent promotions, high fashion campaigns, definitely her international appearances, fashion weeks, major events.
Right.
These keep her name constantly trending everywhere, across different platforms, different continents. She's way beyond just K-pop at this point. She's a global cultural force, and she maintains that presence consistently.
Okay, and sticking with IVE for number 4. And Yu Jin, her being so high up seems to mirror IVE's overall rise, doesn't it?
It really does. And Yu Jin secured 4th place with 3,519,244 points. Her being consistently in the top 5 isn't just about her own popularity, which is significant. It also reflects IVE's growing strength as a group. Their momentum, their successful comebacks, their releases, it's all translating into strong individual recognition for the members. Like you said, a rising tide lifts all boats.
And then number 5, rounding out the top 5, is BLACKPINK's Leeseo. And this one is just, wow. The numbers are kind of staggering.
It really is astonishing. Leeseo jumped to 5th with 3,462,467 points. But the increase, that's the mind-blowing part. A massive 249.80% jump from last month.
250%, practically.
Yeah, almost. This rise is called out as particularly notable in the analysis. It's statistically huge, way bigger than any other jump near the top. It signals something explosive happened.
Okay, let's really unpack this Leeseo jump. Over 200% growth in 1 month. That's not just a trend, that's like a supernova. What on earth could cause that kind of surge? Feels like a big strategic play.
Well, when you see a spike that sharp, that sudden, that statistically significant, it almost always points to something major. Either something that just happened with huge viral impact or something big that's just about to drop.
Like what? A comeback.
Could be a solo comeback announcement generating massive hype, or maybe a huge solo feature like a global campaign, or just one of those powerful viral moments that captures everyone's attention and gets discussed everywhere, hitting all those indexes. Participation, media, communication, community awareness.
So the data isn't just looking back, it's like a flare signal for the future.
Often, yeah. It can be a leading indicator. It signals something big is unfolding or about to.
So this raises a really important question then. When we see a jump like Leese's, almost unprecedented, what does that tell us? Not just about the immediate impact, but how does it shift industry expectations? Does everyone suddenly expect a major announcement? It almost feels like the data is shouting, something big is coming.
Exactly. It signals a very calculated strategic move by her agency that's hit the mark immediately in terms of grabbing public attention and media interest. For the industry observers, it creates this real sense of anticipation.
Right.
It basically confirms that a major promotional cycle, solo, group, global project, whatever, is either about to launch or is already in those very early buzz-building stages. It turns guesswork into a pretty solid prediction backed by actual data. Gives us a peek behind the strategy curtain.
Okay, let's shift gears just a bit. Look at the bigger picture, group dynamics. Because these rankings, they're not just about individuals. They paint this really compelling picture of which groups are truly dominating and which are rising fast. And leading the pack, undeniably, it's BLACKPINK. Their presence is just overwhelming.
It really is. You've got 3 members in the top 5, Rosé at 1, Jennie at 3, Leeseo at 5, and then Jisoo right there at number 6.
So close.
Yeah. That kind of representation for one group is pretty much unheard of. It speaks volumes about their collective power, but also their individual strengths feeding into that. It's not just 1 or 2 carrying the load. It's synergy. This diverse strength is key to their dominance.
So how do those individual contributions, like Rosé topping the chart, Jennie the fashion icon, Leeseo's massive jump, how do they all feed into that overall group power? Is it just additive or more complex?
It's definitely more than just adding scores together. Each member plays a distinct but complementary role. Take Rosé's number 1 spot, driven by those keywords and positive feeling. That doesn't just boost her brand, it reinforces the whole group's artistic credibility, shows they're still at the very top, pushing boundaries. Then Jennie, the global fashion icon. That's crucial.
Why crucial?
Because it keeps the entire group constantly in the global spotlight. High-profile events, luxury campaigns, worldwide discussions. That means constant media coverage and community awareness for BLACKPINK as a unit.
Okay, makes sense. And Lisa's explosive jump, that crazy 249%. What does that signal for the group's momentum together?
That jump strongly suggests this renewed, intense global fan engagement, digital virality, and that energy inevitably spills over onto the whole group.
Ah, a ripple effect.
Exactly. When one member has a moment like that, it draws new eyes to the group, re-energizes existing fans, boosts BLACKPINK's collective digital footprint. It's a powerful indicator of potential group activity or just a huge resurgence of interest, builds momentum for everyone.
And Jisoo, holding strong at number 6. Consistent, maybe not the huge jumps this month, but always there.
Jisoo's enduring appeal, especially after her successful acting work.
Right, Snowdrop.
And her big beauty campaigns. That adds another vital layer to their diverse portfolio. Her consistently high rank, even without those dramatic spikes, shows BLACKPINK isn't just music or performance, it's a multifaceted brand. Members excelling in different areas. That collective strength, that diversification, is what really solidifies their status as this undeniable global K-pop powerhouse. They're not just holding on, they're actively expanding what K-pop success even looks like.
But every dominant force faces challengers.
Yeah.
And IVE, they are making a very, very strong case for being BLACKPINK's main competitor in this brand reputation game. Their rise has been seriously impressive.
Oh, absolutely. Their ascent is remarkable, and it feels very strategic. Having Jang Won Young at 2 and Yu Jin at 4, that's huge individual power right there in the top 5.
Yeah.
But it's not just them. You also see Leeseo at 11th, Lee's at 13th, Ray at 16th, all solidly in the upper ranks.
So multiple members doing really well.
Exactly. It shows a really well-rounded group presence. It proves it's not just 1 or 2 stars carrying the team. It's a cohesive unit where multiple members have strong individual fan bases contributing to the whole.
So for IVE, it really feels like the group brand and the individual brands are lifting each other up simultaneously.
Precisely. That widespread representation, multiple members consistently charting high. It shows a deep, strong, cohesive group brand. Their individual fandoms are powerful, yes, but they seem to work together to boost the group's overall reputation. It's that virtuous cycle. Individual success feeds group success, and vice versa. It really underscores their growing influence and their potential for the long haul.
So what does this mean for IVE long term? Does this position them to, actually take over from BLACKPINK eventually? Or is it more like they're carving out their own equally powerful path alongside them, redefining dominance?
I think their rapidly rising reputation definitely positions them as major long-term players, formidable successors, compelling rivals.
Yeah.
It creates this really exciting dynamic in the industry, keeps things fresh. But it's probably not about one just replacing the other overnight. It's more like a significant generational shift is happening. IVE is building immense momentum, cultivating a strong, diverse fan base that could sustain them for years. So if you connect it to the bigger picture, it's fascinating. You see the established legends like BLACKPINK holding their ground through their global status and diverse activities. And then the next generation, like IVE, building serious momentum through really targeted activities, mastering digital engagement. It suggests the K-pop landscape is actually getting broader, maybe allowing for multiple titans to coexist rather than just one winner takes all.
So what does this all mean for the shifting sands of K-pop? Is IVE truly ready to mount a direct challenge to BLACKPINK's long reign? Or, like you said, is it more nuanced? Are they forging their own parallel road to global success? That sounds like maybe. Both are kind of true.
I think it is more complex and way more interesting than just a simple challenge. Yes, IVE is absolutely rising fast, building a huge loyal fan base. But BLACKPINK's legacy, their global reach, their individual members' iconic status, that runs incredibly deep.
Hard to overcome.
Very. What IVE's success is doing is demonstrating a new, really effective way to get to the top. Maybe one that relies less on years and years of building legacy and more on rapid, super strategic cultivation of both individual and group brands. Hyper-targeted digital stuff, compelling concepts that hit hard and fast.
Right.
So yeah, connecting to the bigger picture again, you have the established legends holding ground through diversification and global appeal, and the next gen building momentum incredibly quickly through targeted moves, grabbing trends, powerful digital connection. It really suggests the landscape is broadening. Multiple power players thriving at once, not just a zero-sum game.
Okay, beyond these two giants, BLACKPINK and IVE, there's a whole fascinating range of other girl groups making serious waves, showing different ways to succeed. Let's take a quick look at some others on the list, showing the sheer depth here. What about aespa? Known for those kind of futuristic, innovative concepts.
aespa continues to show really solid performance. You've got Giselle at 7th, Winter at 8th, Ningning at 19th. Their strong showing, especially in these brand reputation rankings, links directly back to their unique digital releases, their whole metaverse concept.
The Kwangya-verse.
Exactly. And they're really cutting-edge performances. It highlights how powerful, innovative online content and a really distinct group identity can be. How that translates into high brand reputation, especially if you're pushing artistic boundaries. Their digital focus gives them rapid recognition.
Okay. Then there's ITZY. Known for high energy, powerful performances, and really connecting with younger fans, right? Gen Z especially.
That's absolutely their strength. Yuna is at 10th, Chaeryeong at 15th, Ryujin at 20th. They consistently grab the attention, the loyalty of those younger demographics.
What's their secret sauce there?
I think it's partly their messaging, self-love, confidence. It resonates. Plus their energetic concepts, their really strong performance skills. It all clicks with that age group, leading to consistent brand awareness and high engagement. They've really mastered connecting with a specific, powerful audience.
And what about a more established group like Red Velvet? They've been around longer, but they still have a strong showing, real staying power.
Red Velvet is a perfect example of enduring fan loyalty plus a diversified career path. You have Irene at 14th, Joy 17th, Wendy 18th, Yeri 21st.
Yeah, 4 members right there.
Exactly. Despite being veterans, their consistent high rankings show how dedicated their fan base is and how well they've maintained relevance through solo work, group activities, acting, variety, solo music. It's proof of their original brand strength, how they've evolved, and that deep connection they built with fans over years.
Twice is another huge, long-standing global name, and they are all over this list. Just incredible representation.
Twice really shows remarkable consistency and breadth of appeal. It's amazing. Mina at 12th, Momo 23rd, Jihyo 24th, Chaeyoung 25th, Dahyun 26th, Jeongyeon 27th, Sana 28th.
7 members in the top 30.
7 out of 9. Even after so many years, it just powerfully underlines their continued relevance, the deep loyalty of their fandom, 1CE. They've managed to keep evolving their sound, their concepts, their individual projects to stay incredibly strong. That's tough to do in this fast-moving industry.
Now here's one that's kind of surprising, maybe a bit nostalgic. Girls' Day. Still making a real impact on brand reputation. How does that work for a group not actively promoting together right now?
Yeah, that's a great point. Bang Mina is surprisingly high at 9th, and Sojin is at 29th. Their appearance really proves that nostalgic appeal, combined with maybe successful individual activities, can still significantly boost brand reputation.
So legacy matters.
It absolutely does. It shows idols from earlier generations, even if the group isn't active, can still command public interest, generate buzz, maybe through solo music, acting roles, variety show appearances, or just a renewed interest in their classic songs. It's a reminder that those strong emotional connections built over years have real power.
And finishing up the top 30, we have Sakura from SSERAFIM, reflecting a newer group's steady climb.
Right, Sakura at 30th. It's a testament to her own popularity, sure, but also SSERAFIM's rising momentum as a group. It signals this fourth-gen group is solidifying its brand, both individually and collectively, building on recent successes, gaining fans.
Any other notables?
Well, also worth mentioning, NMIXX's Sullyoon at 22nd, another sign of the diverse representation from newer dynamic groups making their mark, challenging the established order. The depth across generations is really something.
Okay, so we've covered the big names, the group dynamics, glanced at the wider field. But let's step back. Beyond just being a list, what do these rankings really tell us about the big trends, the deeper currents flowing through K-pop right now? It's more than just a score. It's like a map of how the industry works.
That's exactly right. These rankings highlight several really crucial, fascinating trends shaping K-pop's future. First, there's that dynamic you mentioned, legacy versus fourth-generation groups.
Yeah.
We see the established names, BLACKPINK, Twice, still performing exceptionally well, holding those top spots. Their success comes from that powerful long-term fan loyalty.
Built over years.
Right, and their diversified portfolios. Solo stuff, acting, global endorsements that reach beyond just music fans.
But it's definitely not just a simple handover like passing a baton, is it? It feels more like different generations running successful races at the same time, just maybe on different tracks or using different strategies.
Exactly. And that's the other side. We see these fourth-gen groups, IVE, aespa, ITZY, LE, SSERAFIM, rapidly carving out significant space. They're showing new ways to succeed, new ways to engage fans, often using digital platforms really effectively, jumping on trends, using unique concepts to build their brand incredibly fast.
So it's like a dual success story.
Yeah, where both established legends and these dynamic newcomers are thriving, often by playing to different strengths. And that raises an interesting question, doesn't it? What are the unique challenges or opportunities for each generation in keeping or growing their reputation? How do they adapt their strategies?
And talking about individuals within groups, the power of individual activity solos, endorsements, seems absolutely massive in these rankings now. Almost like building your personal brand is becoming just as vital as the group's identity.
Undeniably. These rankings hammer home how much individual projects matter. A big solo release, a luxury brand deal, a hit drama role, even just engaging personal social media.
Yeah.
It all directly impacts the idol's overall brand perception. It shows how crucial it is now to cultivate that strong individual identity within the group. Solo success can massively boost your personal brand, and then that positivity often reflects back onto the whole group. It's the symbiotic, interdependent relationship. Allows for more ways to make money, more ways to connect with fans.
It also feels like sometimes just one thing, one viral moment can cause a huge, almost instant spike in these numbers.
And that's the third key trend, social media virality and its instant impact. The data shows it clearly. One well-timed event, one catchy phrase going viral, maybe a dance challenge like we speculated with Rosé's JUMP, can dramatically boost public interest and translate almost instantly into a measurable jump in brand reputation. It highlights how powerful, even if sometimes short-lived, digital trends are, how quickly something can spread online, amplified by fans sharing and talking.
So agencies need to be ready to jump on those moments.
Or even create them strategically. It underscores how important it is for agencies and idols to be tuned in, ready to capitalize on those viral opportunities, often through really well-planned digital content.
So it really isn't just about talent or hard work anymore, though obviously that's still the foundation. It's increasingly about strategic visibility. Playing the game within this very complex, data-driven system, the numbers seem to guide everything.
Absolutely. If you boil it down, these rankings reveal the K-pop industry isn't just about artistry anymore. It's profoundly driven by sophisticated PR, strategic planning, and precise data-backed insights. Every move, a comeback, a solo, an endorsement, a social media post, it's all part of a carefully calculated, often data-optimized effort to maximize brand perception, maximize influence. It's not just measuring what happened, the data is actively shaping future decisions.
Which brings up a really big, almost philosophical question for the industry, doesn't it? As K-pop gets more and more data-centric, how might relying so heavily on metrics actually influence the art, the creative choices, the marketing? It's this tricky balance between creativity and calculated, data-driven strategy.
It creates this really fascinating tension. On one side, data insights can refine strategies, right? Help ensure the art reaches the widest audience, resonates effectively, allows for precision targeting, understanding fans like never before.
But the risks.
The risk is always that relying too much on the numbers could maybe inadvertently stifle pure artistic risk-taking, could lead to safer choices, things that are proven to work commercially rather than pushing creative boundaries.
Right.
So the challenge for companies, for artists, is finding that balance, using data smartly to amplify creativity and vision, not letting the numbers dictate or constrain the art itself. Using data as a compass, maybe, not a cage.
So, as we head further into the summer, it's clear the K-pop world is as exciting and fast-paced as ever. Looking ahead, based on these July rankings, what can we realistically expect? What shifts, what activities do these numbers hint at for the near future?
Well, based on those really notable increases we saw, especially for Leeseo and Rosé, fans can almost certainly gear up for major announcements soon. Comebacks, global campaigns, maybe big collaborations. Those kinds of data surges are often the planned build-up to big agency moves, creating that pre-release buzz.
And it sounds like the newer fourth-gen groups are really positioned to solidify their place, not just rising stars anymore.
Exactly. Groups like IVE, like aespa, they seem strategically ready not just to compete, but to really bridge that gap between the third and fourth generations, usher in a new era almost. Their strong, consistent rankings suggest this natural evolution of influence. They're establishing themselves as the next wave of leaders, showing new ways to succeed. Not just inheriting thrones, but building new ones.
And for the established favorites, Twice, Red Velvet. Their enduring popularity seems secure. Legacy still counts for a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Twice and Red Velvet continue to enjoy that widespread, enduring popularity. It powerfully shows the long-term impact of consistent fan engagement, cultivating those loyal fandoms, and putting out high-quality, evolving music over time. Their sustained relevance after all these years really proves the power of that dedicated fan base and the artist's ability to adapt and stay fresh.
It really is a dynamic, constantly changing future for K-pop, always shifting, driven by these fascinating undercurrents we've talked about.
Yeah.
It really encourages you, the listener, to keep watching how these dynamics play out. The landscape is always rewriting itself.
It's definitely a living, breathing ecosystem, isn't it? Always adapting to fan behavior, media trends, strategic moves, and understanding these brand reputation metrics gives you a really powerful lens to view that evolution.
What an incredible deep dive today. We've really peeled back the layers, haven't we? Uncovered how big data reveals the true nature of idol brand reputation. We highlighted the current dominance, that thrilling dynamic between BLACKPINK and IVE. And we explored those key underlying trends, individual activities, viral moments that keep shaping this global industry. Hopefully, understanding these rankings gives you a clearer, more informed picture of the industry's pulse, beyond just the headlines.
Yeah, it's about empowering you to look at the news, the buzz, idol activities with a more critical, informed eye. Recognizing the strategies, the deeper currents beneath the surface. And honestly, you can apply this kind of thinking, understanding how public perception is measured and influenced to lots of other areas too. Celebrity, brands, the core ideas often carry over.
Absolutely. And as we wrap up this deep dive, here's something for you to chew on, a little provocative thought to take away as you follow K-pop. As these individual idol brands keep getting stronger, more powerful, more autonomous, how might that delicate balance between the group's identity and the members' solo careers continue to shift?
That's a big question.
Yeah. And what new opportunities or maybe new challenges could that changing dynamic create? Not just for the industry, but maybe more importantly, for the fans themselves all around the world. Definitely something fascinating to think about as the next wave of K-pop news unfolds.